This is the Big Deal Podcast, brought to you and powered by New Covenant Baptist Church in Albertville, Alabama. And on this podcast, we're asking the question, what's the big deal about all things Bible, theology, and culture? I'm Justin.
I'm Brad.
Welcome to the Big Deal. Do you feel welcome?
Me?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. This is your podcast.
Mine?
50%.
50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to drop the truth bombs today.
Yeah, we're in Revelation. We're all the revelations.
In the Revelations.
In the Revelations.
Once you're post 45, you have to plural everything. Yeah. Aldi's, Walmarts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Belks.
Belks. Wait, is it Belk or Belk?
Belk.
It used to be Belk Hudson.
Golly, you're so old.
I used to work there.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be in Revelation. We did the first 3 chapters last week. No, it was actually 2 weeks ago. I was gone last week.
Yeah,
but we love you, and we're so committed to this podcast. We love you guys so much that we film them in advance sometimes.
We did.
So you can have
We love to hear ourselves talk so much that we did it twice.
Well, we know you love to hear us talk so much, and we want you to be able to get your weekly
people
fix.
hanging on the edge of their seat for the revelations.
Yeah. And so we're going to start in chapter 4 today. And man, hopefully we get through some of these judgment seals and bowls and stuff. How are you feeling about the book, going through the book of Revelation right now, Brad?
Well, up to 5, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Why is it fun?
Because it's easier.
It's easier, yeah.
And then after 5, you fall off into judgment, bowls, and seals being broken, and the answers to what's happening are not obvious.
Yeah, you're going to naturally enter the realm of speculation a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's where if you buy 3 commentaries, you're going to get 3 answers as to what this means.
That's right. And as a Bible teacher, that
it's annoying.
It's makes you just cautious.
Yeah,
cautious. You're trying to be.
It makes you avoid it.
Yeah, or if you're Brad, it makes you avoid it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
But you're not supposed to avoid it. It says in the beginning, don't avoid it.
Yeah.
It's a blessing in it. Yeah,
it's a blessing.
Can't avoid it.
No.
You need to read it. But
it's not for me. It's like, well, it could mean this and this and this, and people are like, well, which one is this? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But there are some definitive things we'll be able to say about it and some observations we can make about those passages. But like I said, the chapter 4 and 5 are pretty easy to understand and relatively unanimous interpretations, right? Relatively.
Yeah. And I like it. So it's one of the few places. Here's a weird thing to think about.
Go.
I like it because it's my future.
Yeah.
Almost everything else you read in the Bible.
Well, how do you know it's your future? Oh, it could be going on right now.
Yeah, but I'm going to still be there.
Okay.
Because all the redeemed are there.
Got you.
And so I will be there.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff you read in the Bible already happened. You know, you don't get to go walk around with Jesus in Galilee. You don't get to ride in a chariot with David or whatever. Yeah. You'll never see Israel in its glory. Mm-hmm. But you will be here for this. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't actually say you're going to be there. Does it?
Yeah, because it says that all the redeemed were gathered.
Yeah, but it's
and that's me.
It's okay. So now you're setting it in the future.
Yes.
So this isn't what's happening right now.
No.
So you're departing from an interpretation that's kind of the status quo interpretation.
Well, I just know that I don't think these seals are being broken right now.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And so that's what's happening.
All right, we already have 2 different interpretations.
Well, thank you for turning in.
I opened it up and I said, this is chapter 4 and 5 are pretty unanimous in interpretation. That's actually not true. Now that you bring that up, some folks will read chapter 4 and 5 and say that this is what John was seeing in that day. Back in what I guess it was probably 90-something AD.
Yeah.
And this is what was happening in heaven right then. And some people will look at this and say, John is seeing the future. He's seeing something that is a reality that is to be revealed later on. And actually, I think, Brad, yours interpretation is the futurist premillennial dispensational view on that.
Probably.
That this is a future thing, because they would say in order for these seals to start being broken, you have to be in this great tribulation of the 7-year tribulation, and that has to so all of this that John is seeing is deep in the future. It's not happening right now.
Yeah.
The amillennial view, and historic premill, a lot of them, not all of them, and the postmillennial view would say this is just kind of like an all the time thing. And it's when you get to the seals at the end of chapter 5, that's like now we're
6. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. In chapter 6, they would say that those seals are also an all the time thing. And so where you land? Wait, so you've departed. You've
It
brought some complexity. Into this.
It doesn't make any sense to say that they already happened.
Already happened.
Or that
No,
they
they're
were
saying.
Yeah.
So no, they would say that the seals, trumpets, and bowls are always happening.
Yeah, but they're
in the
not.
era.
Because you can't say stuff like, all the kings of the earth hid themselves and cried out to the mountains, fall on us and hide us from the presence of him who sits on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah,
all right, we're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, because you can, but
you can just you can if you want to, but it's wrong.
Yeah. You are a premillennialist. You are a futurist premillennialist.
No,
yeah, how about that?
I am a Chiliist.
More now.
I am a historical premill.
Let's look at chapter 4 and 5 before we get into all that. So
Yeah.
Adding some drama to it, some build
The
up.
drama.
Yeah. So John goes up into heaven.
He does.
He's there in heaven. After this, I looked, and there in heaven was an open door. The first voice that I had heard speaking to me like a trumpet said, "Come up here, and I will show you what must take place after this." After this, by the way, there's some time markers in there after the letters to the church. Immediately, I was in the Spirit, and there was a throne in heaven, and someone was seated on it. The one seated there had the appearance of jasper and carnelian stone. A rainbow that had the appearance of an emerald surrounded the throne. Like rainbow everywhere. How about that?
I know.
Yeah. Around the throne.
God keeps that rainbow there so he won't kill us.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a constant reminder. He promised in Genesis, I
There
will
you
never
go.
flood the world again.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's a sign of a covenant.
Yeah, that's right. Around the throne were 24 thrones, and on the throne sat 24 elders dressed in white clothes with golden crowns on their heads.
I do think that's actually important. Just
It
to
is.
pause a
There's
minute.
probably some clear stuff in that.
Yeah, so you look and you see the rainbow there and you think, oh, it's just pretty. Like it's a wild thing. But it's a reminder that God is keeping covenant with his people at
Yeah.
all times.
Yeah.
He is the wrath of God up to this point. Now, whether it's happening now or future or whatever, we can argue about that in a minute. But up to this point, God has not judged the world again like he did in Noah's
That's right.
flood, but he's about to.
Yeah.
I mean, I said Noah's flood, but it's really God's flood
It's
that Noah
God's-
survived.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
When it comes to the flood, a lot of folks portray the flood in Noah's time like it's never been as bad as it was with Noah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was as evil as the earth ever was, and God couldn't take it anymore, and so
Yeah.
he decided to wipe them out with the flood because they were so bad.
Wicked.
But that's actually not the theological point of the flood and Noah. It's like it's not that was as bad as it ever got. It's just as bad now. It's always been just as bad. There's just as much evil, just as much
Just
sin.
God wasn't having it that day.
Yeah, well, God is telling us after that. Even though you all deserve the death, you're not going to get it. You're
Yeah.
going to live your life.
He
here.
could do that at any time.
He could.
It always bugs me. People say dumb stuff. You ever heard somebody say, like, if God doesn't judge America for this sin, then he owes an apology to Sodom and Gomorrah? You know, that kind of talk about when people use that rhetoric about abortion or whatever, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
horrors we inflict on the unborn and such sort of thing. And I always go, what are you talking about? God could kill everybody at any time.
Yeah. Well,
If he wanted to, he would
in
be
our
just.
tradition, he does. He kills everybody.
Yeah, but what I mean is
Right.
he could end it.
So
he could put the
that's
world
right.
in file 13.
He could say no more, and,
Yeah.
and it's like over.
Yeah.
But what everyone should remember is that he does that no matter what. If it's in a moment, every one of you are going to die, and you die because God said
What?
your time is up. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
God kills everyone.
He might not get me.
Yeah. Well, he might. What
I
do you
might
mean?
be here when he comes back.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might, and you're one of the lucky few.
You know, he took Enoch right away,
Yeah.
maybe.
and Elijah.
And Elijah. I could go up in a whirlwind.
They're the only ones.
But there might be one more.
It might be you. It probably ain't going to be you, though.
I know it.
It might be someone. It'll probably be Caroline in our church. Yeah, Caroline's really nice. She's a little girl in our church. She's very sweet. It might be Evie. Evie's very
She
sweet.
likes to battle.
She does like to battle, though. Yeah. So we're all going to die. God kills everybody, right? And if that's shocking to you, I don't know. I guess I'm sorry. I'm not sorry about it. It's true. He kicked us out of the garden.
Junky, man. I hope I go out good.
There's no good death.
No, there is. There's
What do you
better
mean?
ones.
There's better, but ain't no good.
Yeah. I mean, like going down, protecting your family from evil is pretty good. But like slipping in the shower and hitting your head and that be your story
That's
for
just
eternity.
embarrassing, is
It's
all it is.
embarrassing.
It's just embarrassing.
How'd you die? Well, there were two guys broke in my house and they were trying to hurt my family and they shot me, but I got them. Like, oh, that's cool. How'd you die? And be like,
Slipped in the shower.
I was out checking the barn and I stepped on a hot wire and electrocuted myself. It's like, what? That's not the way I want to go.
No. It's embarrassing, right?
Yeah, I don't want to die that way.
But it's all supposed to be bad. Like you're not supposed to die. That's the whole point. It's like, you're
I mean,
supposed to
it all stinks, but
live with Christ.
and there's worser ways.
Yeah.
More worser.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Judgment.
So, the rainbow there. And then right after that, there's also another set of it's probably pretty clear with the 24 thrones and the 24 elders.
Is it clear?
I mean, it's probably. That's like when I say it's one of the more standard, like not a lot of interpretive battle going on, where you have 12 tribes of
Israel.
Judah, of Israel and
12
the 12
apostles.
apostles. Yeah.
13.
Yeah. Well, one wasn't ever really in a sense,
Wait, but he got replaced, remember?
Yeah, I mean,
And then you had Paul.
Yeah.
Things ain't always neat.
Yeah.
Number-wise. But what I mean is numbers are sometimes more significant than the specifics.
Exactly.
So you could add 13 apostles.
But you could say the same thing about the tribes.
Tribes, exactly, because
Levi.
Joseph, sometimes, so Joseph got split into
Joseph,
two tribes. So
and they don't count Levi.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Like they'll talk about Ephraim and Manasseh.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
this is
12.
important for numerology, not weird stuff like blood moons, but like sometimes the Bible uses numbers in less than exact ways to symbolize things. And so 12 tribes, 12 apostles is a number for that's how many there are. It's a completion, even if there were more or less. Depends on how you count them, right? And so...
Jesus picking 12 apostles is like the 2.0 kind of restart of Israel.
Yes, Jesus coming is the new Exodus.
Yeah.
Jesus coming is the true Israel, and they are his 12 sons, so to speak.
You're going to judge the 12
and
tribes.
so 24 here would be the completion of God's people for all time.
Yeah.
And so it's not 24 specific elders, probably. We'd say we're 87% sure that it's talking about the church.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
The redeemed of all time.
Yeah. Around the throne were, this is the people of God. You could just say the people of God are surrounding God's throne.
Yes.
With golden crowns on their heads, right?
And white garments.
Yeah, white garments.
Redeemed.
Yep.
And ruling with Jesus.
Yep, that's right. They got thrones. Flashes of lightning and rumblings and peals of thunder came from the throne. 7 fiery torches were burning before the throne. So you are the lightning, the rumblings, the thunder. That is all language to talk about the presence of God.
Yes.
If you think back like the Exodus and the Mount Sinai.
It's a callback to Sinai.
Yeah.
Where God pronounced His law.
Yep.
And so we have the covenant of the rainbow. We have the covenant at Sinai here. Yeah. This is what he's calling back. And so we're fixing to have a new thing happen.
Yeah. 7 fiery torches were burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. That's when a lot of people go like, whoa, what?
Yeah. We have a sevenity, not a trinity. Yeah. What's happening?
Oh, no.
Heresy.
That's not what's happening.
No,
it's, 7 again, it's you talk about the numbers. Numbers are important. It's talking about completion.
Numbers are important in apocalyptic literature and in poetry.
Yeah.
They're not as important in didactic teaching passages. And it has to be obvious.
There's a good chance it's a reference to Isaiah 11 with the 7-fold Spirit of God. I'll pull it up.
The virtues of God.
Yeah, it is. It's the virtues that the Spirit brings, right? And so chapter 11 is talking
Of
about
Isaiah.
Yeah, that's right. Isaiah 11. It's talking about Jesus. It's a prediction of Jesus. A shoot will grow from the stump of Jesse, right? It's a very familiar passage. And a branch from his roots will bear fruit. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, of counsel and strength, of knowledge and of fear of the Lord. Right? So it's the sevenfold.
And the
Spirit of
reason
God.
that it's a stump of Jesse and not a tree is because the kingdom of Israel was destroyed.
That's right. It's a cut down stump, and then a branch is going to shoot from
Basically, he's a sweet gum.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of the things, man.
Yeah,
You cut
that's
them down,
right.
they sprout. Yeah.
And so that's probably what that is. It's a reference to
You have to be
Jesus
such a
and the Spirit.
redneck to get that sweet gum
Yeah,
reference.
I get it too, man.
It's
sweet gum. They're incessant.
man.
Yeah. All right. So you have that, the sevenfold, the seven spirits of God. Something like a sea of glass, similar to crystal, was also before the throne. I mean, wait, the sea of glass? That's interesting. Similar to crystal.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Am I supposed to say that?
I don't know.
I think it's like I don't really know.
You know, and there might be some things that might not have a complete analog.
Yeah.
You know, the sea in general is a theme of chaotic Gentiles and stuff.
Yeah. Sea is not always representative of good things.
It's usually not. It's usually and so later
I
on,
think there's
the
something
sea
in
is no
Ezekiel
more.
about that. I think he saw it. Let's see if we got a reference here. A sea of glass. Now over the heads of so Ezekiel, just so you know. So another thing you can say about Revelation is when you go back to the Old Testament prophets, when you go to Daniel, Ezekiel, they seem to have seen the same thing as John saw.
Yeah.
And so it says, now over the head of the living beings there was something like an expanse, like the awesome gleam of crystal spread out over their heads. And under the expanse their wings were stretched out straight, one toward another, each of which had two wings covering its body on one side and on the other. So he sees this strange crystal.
Yeah, so that
thing.
this could be just a passage to connect it to. Like they're seeing the same.
It's
like,
a hyperlink back to
this is-
Ezekiel's stuff.
These are the kind of things that they see when they see a vision of God's throne.
And when you see angels from Ezekiel, and they're not they're not the Rembrandt paintings or the Renaissance paintings where it's like this fat kid with a
Yeah,
with the feathery wings.
Yeah.
They're weird.
Well, we only have a couple depicted versions of angels in the Bible. You have cherubim and you have seraphim, and the depictions of the cherubim come from the Ark of the Covenant and the instructions for the tabernacle.
Mm-hmm.
There are wings and they're covered up. Their faces and things like that.
They have 6 wings.
6
well,
wings.
some of them.
No, not the cherubim. I don't think.
No,
do
well,
they?
we don't know what the ones are in Ezekiel because they have 6 wings. They cover their face, their private parts, and with 2 they fly.
Yeah, maybe that is cherubim. Yeah, and they're like transporting. I think that is the cherubim.
And then there's one that's like a chariot with wheels of fire and eyes upon eyeballs.
But we
and it's
don't
like really
know
weird.
what that is. Yeah.
No.
Then you have the seraphim, and that's Isaiah.
Seraphim means
6.
burning ones.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, Isaiah chapter 6 describes those, and they have a bunch of wings and stuff too. But these aren't like it's not like pretty people with wings. You know? That's not what that is.
But
like.
we do have angels up here that look like people.
Yeah, but they don't have like a category name, right?
No.
Cherubim, seraphim.
No.
We don't know what they are.
Don't know.
Yeah.
So think about that. There are like different kinds of things in heaven. We're fixing to see that actually.
Yeah.
There's some strange stuff, man.
You don't get a taxonomy
No.
of spiritual beings. In
Though
the Bible.
people have tried.
Yeah, people have tried, and there's an expectation that's in the Bible. Like you have these different classes of angels, and all that information can be put into like a nice little taxonomy book to describe the different creatures. But you don't really get that. The Bible never tries to explain angels to you.
Not
ever.
really.
Ever. It just doesn't even try.
They're messengers.
They are. So in literature, you have like different classifications of what a character is. You have 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, and 3-dimensional. You know about this?
Yeah.
From when you're in literature classes. 3-dimensional characters are usually your main characters. They are they have motive and like mixed, complex emotions, things like that. You have two-dimensional characters that are usually foils, right? That are they kind of sit in a trope, right? This is the funny one. This is the big one. This is the mean one. Things like that. And you have one-dimensional characters that are NPCs basically. They're like just there, and you don't get much explanation. Angels are like that in the Bible. They just show up, and by the way, this is a cherubim.
They're quest givers in your RPGs.
Yeah, they are. They're MPG.
They show up to Mary and
like,
hey, you're gonna have a baby.
Yeah.
Or to Daniel, and they're messengers. They usually just they move the plot along sometimes.
Yeah. But seem to be really important to what God's doing. But it's like it's not
they're
for you.
They're going to become three-dimensional characters when we meet them. But right now, it's just like, what was that? And the Lord's like, just look over here.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, in the literature, how it's like portrayed in the book, it's like that's all you get.
I think there are different kinds of angels. I don't know what it all means yet.
Yeah. Well, there obviously are.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
They look different.
Yeah.
They act different. They do different stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Yeah. So I think we're about to see some of those, right?
We are.
So chapter 4, starting in second half of verse 6, it says 4 living creatures covered with eyes in front and in back, covered with eyeballs, were around the throne on each side. The first living creature was like a lion. The second living creature was like an ox. The third living creature had a face like a man. And the fourth living creature was like a flying eagle.
Fly like an eagle.
And each of the 4 living creatures had 6 wings. They were covered with eyes around and inside. And they day and night, they never stopped saying, "Holy, holy, holy, Lord God, the Almighty, who was, who is to come." All right. What's going on? Like, what is that? Why?
All right, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
First of all, nobody knows.
Second of all, there's no definitive. It's not like it says, and this means this, right?
Yep. So I think I could say this with 90% accuracy. The eyeballs probably refer to the fact of their awareness that they see all. That things are not hidden from them.
It's likely.
It's probably what that means. Some people will say like the lion and the face of a man and an eagle and all that stuff is representative of the 4 gospels. I don't know about that.
That seems like a stretch.
Yeah, I really don't know. They're. Wow.
I think but
it does call back again to Ezekiel and the things that he saw.
I think the best thing I've heard is like this is closer in line. What else is happening in chapter 4 is like just representative of creation.
Yeah,
that these like are angelic beings that are representing creation. You have the animals, all the animals of the earth. You have the 24 elders surrounding that, and you have the Psalms that insist that all creation is worshiping God. The heavens declare the glory of God, and so I think that's, I'm not going to give it a 90%.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it like a 70%, probably representing creation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, okay.
60 maybe.
Here's what Ezekiel says about the angels he saw. You ready?
Yeah.
Now, as I looked at the living beings, behold, there was one wheel on the earth beside the living beings for each one of the 4 of them. The appearance of the wheels and their workmanship was like sparkling beryl, and all 4 of them had the same form and appearance and workmanship, being as if one wheel were within another. What in the world? Yeah. Whenever they moved in any of their 4 directions without turning as they moved. As for their rims, they were lofty and awesome, and the rims of all 4 of them were full of eyes all around. And whenever the living being moved, the wheels moved with them. And whenever the living being rose from the earth, the wheels rose also. He has no idea what he's looking at. And so, I mean, what is that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If you're,
but eyeballs
look, if you get on Joe Rogan podcast, they're aliens.
Oh,
right.
That's well, I think that's 100% true.
Okay.
I mean,
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
but that's like
they're not from Earth.
Yeah, they're not Earthlings.
They're not.
How do you know? How do you know angels aren't Earthlings?
Because they were made before the world.
Yeah. How do you know all of them were?
I don't know that all of them were.
Yeah.
I'm only 80%.
There's some speculation.
I don't think they were made on Earth, though.
I don't know. Maybe this is the only place angels do stuff.
I mean, they're in heaven. We know that.
Well, is that not here also in a sense?
No. Because it's got to come here.
Look, you made a point a couple weeks ago that like it is here.
Well, the kingdom of God is already broke in.
Yeah.
It's here. A part of us is in heaven, but this ain't it, man.
Yeah.
We're still trapped in Babylon.
My point though is like if you the kind of like the popular interpretation of that passage right now is that he was seeing flying saucer aliens, UAPs and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, maybe that's how they get around. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I do care in the sense of like I'm ready. I care about it like I care that oh shoot, what's his name? Wise Man's Fear. What's that book series?
Patrick Rothfuss.
I care about it like the next Patrick Rothfuss book, except this one's coming. You know, Hey, Patrick, if you listen to this, we love you. I don't care. You don't have to write the next book.
That's a super obscure book reference
Is
to
it?
a guy. I mean, I guess.
Okay,
I don't know.
it's like Waiting for the Winds of Winter from George R.R. Martin.
It's just an author who's never going to write.
They're not going to finish it. They wrote themselves into madness or something. It's okay, buddy. I don't care. Thank you for what you wrote. But what I'm saying is I look forward to seeing these creatures like this chapter is going to be finished for me. We're going to see this stuff one day.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, man, okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, there's speculation in that. Like you can say 99 or something %.
Yeah.
You don't know that you will see this.
Well, I will see it, but it may not look like a line.
Yeah.
I might be like, oh, I see what he was getting at.
Yeah, you might. So the question is what is being revealed to them I don't know, physical reality is the right way to say it, or is it all depiction?
Could be depiction.
Is it all apocalyptic literature, ways to say things?
But
we don't know.
Whatever it is, when we see it, we'll know it.
I think when you see the throne of God, you'll know.
What they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's sort of like if English is not your first language, and you're reading some detective noir book, and it says the monkey on the detective's back was his alcohol habit, and you're like, monkey on his back? What the heck is that?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't. And they're like, so it's like, well, if I saw him, would he have a monkey on his back?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It doesn't.
That's not the point. That's not like what. No. And it's possible that when you're looking at Revelation 4 and 5, and you see the animals, all this kind of stuff, it could be that could be all it's trying to say is there are these creatures here.
They're like legit.
That's like, these are creatures, and they're saying holy, 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 right?
Yep.
And or it could be this is for the purposes of this vision to tell important theological things to John and the people and that kind of stuff. I don't know.
If this is future, what's going to be fun is looking around for John. If me and you's there, we can find each other in that crowd of 5 billion people, whatever. And be like, hey, look, there's John over there trying to write this down. It's going to be so weird.
So there's that's what's happened so far. You have these creatures, but they're doing something. They're worshiping
You're
God.
probably that guy that walked over and talked to him.
Yeah.
You're like, don't quit crying, John. Yeah. You got me. It's one of the prophets, right?
If you think it's in the future,
if it's in the future, you might be the one. You'd be like, and you'd be like, oh, I forgot, I was in the Bible.
Yeah. So they're saying, holy, 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 Lord God the Almighty, who was, who is, and who is to come. This was our call to worship yesterday, right? Whenever the living creatures get, and by the way, I betrayed my theology in my introduction to that yesterday because I said right now, they're saying before the throne, singing this, and we can join with them right now and singing it.
Oh, that's true though.
Yeah,
they're going to do this forever.
Yeah,
they were doing it in Isaiah's day and night.
But I would say this is like it's not just a future thing, right? Yeah.
No, this has always been happening.
Yeah.
Because Isaiah, they said the same thing in the foundations of the temple.
And it says day and night, they never stop.
They never stop.
Yeah.
Because every time they look at God, they see something else beautiful they ain't seen before.
The difference is that the next part is where I betrayed my theology.
Traitor.
Because it says, whenever the living creatures give glory, honor, and thanks to the one seated on the throne, the one who lives forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before the one seated on the throne and worship the one who lives forever. And they cast their crowns before the throne and say, our Lord and God, you are worthy to receive glory and honor and power because you've created all things. By your will they exist and were created. And so it seems like there's a timestamp in there and it's about to push into the Jesus stuff.
Yeah, it says they will cast.
Yeah.
The thing is, one of the tricks is it is future to John.
Yeah.
So he's writing about it as a future. And, but
it doesn't say they will.
Well, it does in the NASB.
Yeah, let's look in. I wonder what the Hebrew or
what's the Greek
is. Yeah, what's the Greek? Is it future 10?
Usually the NASB is pretty on.
Yeah.
We got to get to the throne.
It is. It is will. It's future. Yep. Yep.
They're fixing to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it says whenever. Yeah. So I don't know.
There's lots of worship going on.
Yeah. They're worshiping. That's all. That's actually the main point is that they're worshiping in their chapter 5. Then I saw in the right hand of the one seated on the throne a scroll with writing on both sides, sealed with 7 seals. Right, there's more sevens. Complete. Yeah. Right. I also saw a mighty angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scroll and break its seals?"
Oh, it's one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah, that song we sing. Is anyone worthy? Andrew Peterson did a great job on that. Right.
What's the scroll? Should we stop now, or you want to keep reading?
I think if we read a little bit more, it might be easier to talk about the scroll. But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or even to look in it. I wept and wept because no one was found worthy to open the scroll or even to look in it. Then one of the elders said to me, "Do not weep. Look, the Lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has conquered, so that he is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals." So now what is this scroll?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, man. What's the scroll here?
Well, we know that it has in it written judgments.
Yeah, we do know that.
And so now you're going to get different answers on this, okay?
Okay.
And they could be all correct to a degree.
Yeah.
I would say that the scroll that he's about to break the seals on is the scroll of judgment. And we've already sort of been set up for this from the rainbow and the peals of thunder. Mm-hmm. So this is yet another proclamation of judgment from God.
Yeah.
And who is worthy to judge might be a good way to ask. Who is worthy? Are you worthy to judge the nations? No. Who is? And also, I'm not to fuss about it, but I'm just telling you where my train of thought is or what. Yeah. This is also why I sort of put this into the future, because it seems to me that this scene is not just looking at the people alive in John's day, but every single person that ever lived, and no one is worthy. So there's a great moment of judgment. Now, this could be symbolic. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily happen in our... I'm fine with that. On our timeline, it's like looking throughout all of history from where they are, there is no one found worthy to judge. So one thing you could say about this scroll is that it is the scroll of judgment. Who is worthy to judge? And I am not worthy to judge my fellow man, because I have the log in my eye, right? Mm-hmm. Anything I would measure to you would be measured back to me, and I would be found lacking. And so would everybody else. And it's heartbreaking, and John's going to cry about it. And we all should be sad that we're not worth a flip to judge. We're not good judges. Yeah. And that's why I like to tell people, or it's why as a pastor I remind people, you've never seen justice. You've never seen fairness, really. We're not good at it. No. But so one thing you can say about this seal is that it is judgment, and who is worthy to judge the world. Sometimes people will talk about this as if this is a scroll of ownership, like a deed to own the universe. Maybe. That could be that, because Jesus is the one who owns it all. But I think
it doesn't fit with what happens with the 7 seals.
I feel like it's a judgment.
It's not just judgment. Well, it's not just the negative sense of judgment, though.
No,
because you have the seal, the 6th seal, the 6th seal. That's hard to say.
6th seal. Yeah, it's hard.
Isn't or is it the 5th? Which one? It's the 5th. Under the altar, the souls of those who had been slaughtered because of the word of God and the testimony they'd given, they cried out with a loud voice, "Lord, the one who is holy and true, how long until you judge those who live on the earth and avenge our blood?" And so they were each given a white robe.
Yeah.
Right. And so this is actually...
Well, not all judgment's bad.
Exactly. That's why it's not just the negative sense in it. You can be judged righteous.
Yeah. Of course, these guys are ready for the burning.
Yeah.
They're like, how long till you avenge us on the earth?
That's right.
Because these jerks killed us.
And so you have the scroll is probably, again, we're using that word, probably something about the right to bring about the judgment of the world, right? And
And it says that you're not able to open the book or look into it, right?
Yeah.
There's a theme of judgment where not only are we not allowed to judge, we're not even allowed to look at it when somebody's judged. So you think about Sodom and Gomorrah when the fire fell from heaven. What was the instruction to Lot and his family when they left?
Don't look back.
Don't look at the judgment.
Yep.
Don't look back. Even when Abraham looks and he sees the smoking ruin, he doesn't see it live. He can only see what's happened after. He sees the smoke of the judgment. So there's this theme of not only are we not we are not worthy to judge, but we can't even look at the judgment.
Yeah.
We can't see it. We're not worthy. Man, to me, that's an interesting image of.
It raises the ante, I feel like, a little bit. It's like this must be mysteriously even more important, and I don't know, something is different here.
I just think that when you go 1v1 with God, it's between you and Him.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody else going to be looking in there.
That's
but
a good point.
In the smoke of your ruin or your exaltation, you will look upon it and behold the aftermath of judgment. But when God takes you aside and puts you before, what do they call it, the bema, throne of judgment or whatever, the bema seat, the throne of judgment, it is you and God. And ain't nobody else in that room. And you'll walk out with a robe of righteousness, and everybody will say, what God has done is good and right. And if you're cast into torment, people will say, amen, what God has done is good and right.
Yeah.
But the actual process, not sure we get to watch that.
Yeah, yeah. So this is where the interpretations are going to kind of like hit the fork in the road and it all comes down to timing. With how you're reading Revelation. So the historicist believes that all of these events took place before Jesus. Like this was all a depiction of the events leading up to the death and resurrection, or maybe even Jesus' incarnation to begin with, right?
Yeah, so maybe I guess they would say this is not so much a fixed point in a linear time, but a sweeping look at all of history, culminating.
They wouldn't say that. That would be more the idealist. The historicist says that the events of Revelation are leading up to the death and resurrection of Jesus, and so the day of the Lord for most of this is Jesus coming and being here, and so this is like the precursor to Jesus's incarnation. Is kind of how the historicist Matthew Henry.
I don't know. He's already talking about a lamb being slain.
Yeah, and because it's as good as done.
I think that's.
I think it's not a great. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good.
But now Matthew Henry wrote in 1500. And he said some good stuff.
Yeah, this is like 1800.
Right? No,
he's 18. He's 1800 guy.
Matthew Henry.
Yeah,
I think he was older, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. It's folks like that. It's very uncommon. It's a niche view. The preterist is going to say that these things this is right after Jesus has ascended and he's in heaven at the throne of God, and he's about to enact the judgment that's coming on Jerusalem in 70 AD, right? And so that's what's coming on Jerusalem in 70. That's what the preterists say. And the seals are this judgment, all that kind of stuff. The futurist is saying that this is all in the future. It's deep in the future before a time of greater tribulation coming on the earth. And that the seals that in the bowls and the seals, trumpets, and bowls, I should say, are this kind of greater judgment coming on the earth before the return of Christ.
So, yes.
There's one more view. The idealist view is that the seals, trumpets, and bowls are about the state of the world between Christ's ascension and his return. And so they would say that these are just cyclical patterns, that this is what Jesus is up to between his ascension and his return. And he's up to judgment on the earth and the rescue of his people. And so those are the four views. But yeah, you were going to say something about the historic or the futurist view.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
I started thinking about Jesus having 7 horns and 7 eyes. And it was, it also says, it's a beautiful little thing because he says the Lion of Judah has overcome. And then when he looks, he sees a lamb. He doesn't see a lion.
Yeah. So then I saw the one like a slaughtered lamb standing in the midst of the throne and the 4 living creatures and among the elders. He had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent to all the earth. He went and took the scroll out of the right hand of the one seated on the throne.
Yeah. So it's Isaiah 11.
Is Jesus a lamb?
Yes.
Right. But is he an animal lamb?
No.
Right. So you already have some layers here of interpretation, of figurative language.
Is he a lion?
Right. Is he a lion? Is he a lamb?
Yes.
But is he was a man. He was a human who is also God, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He is. And so you already have some layers that maybe this isn't trying to just depict like you would expect like on a movie, or not even on a movie, as security footage.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you look at the Bible, you look at Revelation maybe, and you're expecting the security footage version of what heaven looks like. And this is, it's a way to proof out evidence to see exactly what happened. But Revelation's probably not trying to do that. Probably. It might be. Jesus could be in heaven. He could look like just a slaughtered lamb. Possible.
Doubt it
though.
But the imagery is right. And it's
exactly.
it's a lamb standing as having been slain. So it's dead but alive, and a lamb being the sacrificial sacrifice. But what's interesting is he says it's a lion, and he looks and it's a lamb.
Yeah, that's right.
And
look, the lion from the tribe of Judah is here. Oh, but there's one like a slaughtered lamb standing in the midst of the throne.
He's the same one. He is a lion. He is a lamb. It's just a beautiful picture to me. I love it.
It's a beautiful paradox.
And the 7 horns and the 7 eyes means that he sees all. And horns in poetry in those days and even now is symbols of strength.
Yep.
He is all powerful. We might say he is omnipotent and he is omniscient because he sees all and he has all strength. And even today we say this: if you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
That's right.
Right. So the horns is the symbol of strength and power. Yeah. So he's powerful, he's all seeing, and yet he's a lamb who was slain. Yeah. But he's standing.
Sacrifice.
Oh man, he's boss.
He's a sacrifice who is humble yet but strong.
Yes.
And it's just it is Jesus. It's very clearly a wonderful way to depict Jesus.
You need those. This is why idolatry is so horrific, because idols focus on one aspect of something, and it gets you out of proportion. If you only see Jesus as a lion, it will affect how you behave.
Yeah.
But if you see him as a lamb, it will affect how you behave. If you only see one of each, you got to hold both.
You got to hold all of it.
You have to hold it all.
Yeah.
He is complete. He's Alpha and Omega.
Slaughtered yet alive, standing.
Yeah, he's dead, and behold, I was dead, and am alive forevermore.
Exactly. Yeah. And so he when he took the scroll, the 4 living creatures and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each one
they're gonna need some knee pads, man. These guys are falling down all the time.
And they're musicians too.
Yeah.
Each one had a harp and golden bowls filled with incense, which are the prayers of the saints. Again, so you're probably seeing some figurative language. The bowls are filled with incense, which are prayers.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's there is metaphor and like imagery involved here. You're probably not looking at the security footage, right? Probably.
This is why I don't. People, I'm going to give a shout out.
Yeah.
People like act weird about the Orthodox Church. They call it the smells and bells and stuff, and they put the incense in the censer before they preach, and they swing it around and put the incense in there. And I think that's actually not so bad.
I mean, they're doing it here.
They're doing it there.
Yeah.
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 It's symbolic of prayer.
They did it in the temple. There's incense in the temple.
We're so boring sometimes.
We're utilitarian, man.
Golly.
Yeah. The Protestants swung too far.
Yeah, they didn't swing enough incense.
Yeah, we swung too far to the other side.
And when there, it's sort of like the guy who's whose dad was an abusive alcoholic, and he becomes not just a teetotaler, but begins to judge anyone who drinks alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the step too far.
Yeah.
You can say, man, I don't drink because my dad drank and he was abusive. And I'd be like, all right. And then when he said, and also because you have a beer sometimes, you're a wicked, horrible person and probably hit your family. It's
That's
like,
right.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What
Too
you
far,
say?
man.
Yeah, whoa. You don't have to swing the incense, bro.
Yeah. The Protestants did that.
But yeah,
A
we
lot
did
of them,
because there were people abusing stuff. It's sort of
Yeah.
like when, oh well, I don't want to go too far. I was
So-
going to talk about icons. That's always
Yeah,
the
that's fine,
horse that
yeah.
kicks me when I walk by.
Yeah. So they're singing a new song. You are worthy to take the scroll and open its seals because you were slaughtered and you purchased people for God by your blood from every tribe and language and people and nation. You made them a kingdom and priests to our God, and they will reign on the earth. So that one kind of line right there, I would say, pushes the historicist view out. It's like, I mean, this seems too set post what Jesus has done.
Yeah.
So I think all the other three views are still fair with that when it comes to, okay, maybe preterist and he's about to bring the judgment on Jerusalem, maybe idealist and it's this what Jesus is up to between the ascension and his return, and maybe future, this is something that happens in the deep future, right? Mm-hmm. Those are all fair still, but the historicist view is probably out now, in my opinion. Then I looked and heard the voice of many angels around the throne and also the living creatures and of the elders. Their number was countless thousands plus thousands of thousands.
Myriads of myriads.
But is that what you have? Myriads?
Myriads of myriads and thousands of thousands.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of angels, right?
Bunch.
And they said with a loud
living
voice.
creatures and everything.
Whatever
It's
that
all
means.
kind of stuff.
Yeah. The around the throne, yeah. They said with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb who was slaughtered to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing. I heard every creature in heaven, on earth, and under the earth, on the sea, and everything in them say, blessing and honor and glory and power be to the one seated on the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. Every creature, you think it's talking about even people that are... It might not be talking about, I guess, is it talking about people too? People that don't even love God?
It says every created
It says
thing.
every...
I think this is the Philippians 2 moment.
Yeah.
Where he says every knee will bow and every tongue. It says whether on the earth, under the earth, wherever they might be, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord to the glory of God the Father.
It's going to happen.
I think Satan has to kneel.
Yeah.
He's going to have to confess his defeat.
Blessing and honor, glory and power be to the one seated on the throne and the Lamb forever and ever. The four living creatures said, "Amen," and the elders fell down.
This is this is another thing that pushes me in the percentile of futurist.
Because you want that to be a moment.
It's something that is going to happen because the devil ain't doing this now, and definitely people ain't doing it now.
I think the one thing I get that I think it's super fair. I think it's really fair. I think the only, I guess, rebuttal it's not even really a rebuttal because I think it's fair.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes me lean more idealist with this is that so much of this has already been not a security footage version of things that is like, okay, we're talking about God being glorified in creation because of the work of Jesus.
But the idea of all things have not yet been put underneath his feet is a recurring theme, and that heaven being his throne and earth being his footstool and the day of the Lord. To me, this sounds like day of the Lord stuff that we're waiting for.
Yeah, and it could be. It's fair.
I think it's going to be. If I'm wrong, it's okay. I can still go to heaven.
I think I'm at like, this is like 55%. It's not much.
His meter's going down.
Well, for this
whichever way.
No, for the idealist, I've kind of rested right here, like 55%, 60% or so with that. This is just this is talking about a reality in between the ascension of Christ into heaven and his return, the time period that we're in right now. The reality is that Christ is in charge. He is on his throne and ruling. He is ruling right now. And you are right now seated with him on the throne, just like the elders with Christ. Right now you are. And it's a spiritual reality that's taking place in your heart. And right now, creation is worshiping Christ.
And it is being subjected.
And it is being, yeah.
It is subjected and it's being
So
subjected.
that's why I'm like 55, 60%. It could be in the future, though. It
Yeah.
could be. It could be a moment.
What's whether it's the future, whatever. It's the fact is that everyone is going to confess this.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And I
who.
think that's true no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah. The devil will have to admit defeat, and he will have to say the Lamb is blessed forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man. And then he's going to go in the second death.
Yeah. Yeah. So chapter 6 is when we get to the seals being broken, right? And we're talking about a seal. We're talking about like a piece of wax you would put on like a scroll or something.
Yes.
I know you probably don't have that in your mind. When you think of a seal, you're probably thinking of an animal, or or you're thinking of like a car part, right? Like
so this is like the olden days. If you watch those medieval whatever, and they somehow have envelopes, and they'll put a letter in an envelope, and then they drop wax on it, right? And they press their ring to it, and they make a seal, so you'll know if the seal's broken. Somebody read it before you got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what they're talking about. And there's 7. So imagine the scroll rolled up, and there's 7 wax seals on it, going down the spine of the thing.
And every one of them is being broken in this kind of order.
But every time one breaks, it's a big deal.
Yeah. So I heard one of I saw the Lamb open one of the 7 seals and heard one of the 4 living creatures say with a voice like thunder, "Come."
So this is a big deal. So you imagine that Jesus just takes his thumb and breaks the seal and he goes, "Come."
Yeah. I looked and there was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, a crown was given to him, and he went out as a conqueror in order to conquer. All right. I'm gonna read all 3 of these because I get the 4 horsemen, right? Yeah, this is where that comes from. When he opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, "Come." Then another horse went out, a fiery red one, and its rider was allowed to take peace from the earth, so that people would slaughter one another. And a large sword was given to him. When he opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come." And I looked, and there was a black horse. Its rider held a set of scales in his hand. Then I heard something like a voice among the 4 living creatures say, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius. But do not harm the oil and the wine." When he opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature say, "Come." And I looked, and there was a pale green horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades was followed after him. They were given authority over a fourth of the earth to kill by the sword, by famine, by plague, and by the wild animals of the earth. All right, we'll stop right there with those 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the 4, you might have heard these talked about in our culture, Western culture, as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, right? Yeah. You've heard that before. Mm-hmm. It's memorialized in like even video games and stuff have used this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's like
it's a Tombstone.
It's a cultural
the movie
Tombstone now. Yeah. I know of it. I've never seen it. I'm not a big Western guy.
You should watch that one.
I know. I want to. I just time and opportunity.
I know how it is.
So it actually, they're not called the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Apocalypse is not, it's the Revelation, right? But they are 4 horsemen
in the Revelation.
Which
so some people call the apocalypse.
But we're not. It's not the apocalypse. That's using the word apocalypse to mean the end of the world.
Yeah,
and that's not how Revelation uses that word. Yeah. That's a new way to use that word. Right? Yeah, that's not an ancient way to use it. And so the views, like the preterist is saying, well, all of these things are coming to Jerusalem in 70 AD. The historic we're going to throw the historicists out by now.
Get rid of it.
The futurist is going to say this is the first part of the 7-year tribulation. Mm-hmm. If you're dispensational, premillennial. If you're historic premillennial, you could be idealist or futurist with this.
You can do, that's the beauty of it.
You could think that this is something coming in the future,
or they're riding about now,
or it's all happening now. And I land on the idealist. This is one of the things that makes it that's very convincing to me about the idealist view, is because you look at these horsemen conquering, slaughter by the sword, famine, plague, and death from natural disaster. Essentially, man, that is like it's status quo. That's what the world has been like.
Yeah, but it says a quarter of the world.
Yeah,
1 out of 4.
Yeah,
and also it doesn't say hell followed with him. It says Hades.
Yeah, it does say Hades. Yeah.
So it's death in the grave.
Yeah.
They're killing people. It's not just tossing people into hell.
But like it's a quarter of the earth dying.
No,
in tragedy.
I'm just saying.
It doesn't sound like it's outside the status quo.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that people have the idea that death is throwing people into hell. But what it means is that people are dying and going into these graves.
It's the grave. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But I was talking about the idealist view that. Yeah, like a quarter of the earth dying in tragedy. No, that tracks.
1 out of 4. Some people fall in the bathtub.
It tracks.
So who's the white horse rider? Who's he conquering? Who's that guy?
I don't know. It's just conquering.
A white horse, and he who sat on it had a bow, and a crown was given to him. He went out conquering and to conquer.
Yeah.
And if you read your Revelation commentary, some people say it's Jesus. Some people say, it's all kind of stuff.
Yeah, later on, there is a white horse rider is Jesus. And maybe it's the same. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
He's got a bow here instead of a sword in his mouth.
But like I said, the futurist is going to probably go, and they're going to say this is the first part of the after the rapture, like the secret rapture, or I don't know, the rapture period. They're going to say maybe they think there's a secret rapture or not. They're going to say this is when the 7-year tribulation happens. I don't believe in a 7-year tribulation. I don't think I see that.
I think it's going to be 9. It's going to be 9.
I think you're in it.
Years.
I think you're in it. I think we're in it right now. I think that this is the status quo. This is what the world is like between the ascension of Christ and his.
You can believe
coming.
That and think it's still going to get worse at the end.
You can,
but when it gets worse,
and I do think it's going to get. I don't expect things to get better.
I think this is probably the future.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a really bad time right before Jesus returns.
Do you think it's going to be 7 years?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I know that I think we'll be here.
But you would say, even if it was exactly 7 years or something, you would say there's not a rapture that happens before that.
No, it's not going to. There's not a secret rapture. I think we will be here right up to the end. I think we'll be preserved by God, like Noah in the ark. But I think the purpose is that we're going to be preaching repentance right up to the very last.
And here's how this is.
And we'll get killed for it.
The fifth seal is how I think we know that we will be here throughout whatever tribulation.
Lay it on us, brother.
You'll be here and protected, like throughout these things. Not in the sense that nothing bad will happen to you, but that you are safe in Christ. And because the fifth seal, and you see this with the bowls and the trumpets too. You see in every one of these sets of, you call them judgments or whatever, these 3 judgments, that towards the end of them, it will talk about the elect. It will talk about those who are safe in Christ because of Christ. So the fifth seal, I mentioned a minute ago, under the altar, the souls of those who had been slaughtered because of the word of God and the testimony they'd given, they cried out with a loud voice, Lord, the one who is holy and true, how long until you judge those who live on the earth and avenge our blood? So they were each given a white robe, and they were told to rest a little while longer until the number would be completed of their fellow servants and their brothers and sisters who were going to be killed just as they had been. It was like, yes, you may die, but you have a white robe.
Yeah.
Like death is coming for everybody, but you're not cast away in this judgment, right? You're protected in this judgment.
And you're going to be there.
Yeah.
While this craziness is happening.
Yeah.
So
that's right. They're going to be killed.
So either
your brothers and sisters.
This is happening now, which I think is true. Obviously, there's people being martyred for the faith this week.
Yeah.
So this stuff is happening now. But it could be and here's why I think this might be true. And probably you think this too. I don't know. We'll see. But Jesus talks about the end of days, or the day of judgment is coming like a labor pangs upon a woman.
Yeah.
And we know that those things get closer and closer together until the child's born.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there is, toward the end, these disasters that come upon the world because of sin and wickedness is going to start coming one right after another. It's just as the end draws near, and he talks about how at the end, like the fig tree puts out the leaves, so you know that the fruit's probably not far behind.
Yeah.
That there's this. Now it could end up tomorrow, right? I'm not that great a judge of it, of how bad it is out there, because maybe I'm being preserved.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's it. But I do think it's like,
Yeah, maybe.
Because at first, contractions are like 9 minutes apart for a woman. And then at the end, it's like every, 30 seconds or something?
The sixth seal is kind of about natural disasters, right? A violent earthquake.
But my point is, the reason I think we're still going to be here is because he's like, hey, there's more of them that's going to be killed.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right.
They're still being killed.
This is
whole
the
time.
stuff that wipes out the secret rapture.
To me.
Yeah, I think it definitely does.
Okay, so you have... This is what
like,
gets me.
how in the world can... the Lord say, or the angel, they cried out. How can they cry out from the altar, and say, rest a little while longer until the number would be completed of their fellow servants and their brothers and sisters who are going to be killed just as they had been?
Yeah.
Right? That's assuming that there are people still on the earth being martyred for their faith.
Well, see, the secret rapture, and if you read the Left Behind series, and this is one of the things which I hate. The idea is the church is going to be taken out. Gone. But then there's this, they'll say, well, after the church is gone, though, there's going to be a great revival, and people will get saved, and those folks will be martyred. And it's like, why don't they get to go home? They're the church too, buddy.
Yeah.
So it's like the church has to be raptured out because they're not going to suffer under the wrath of God. And it's like, well, you're saying people are getting saved during the tribulation, so why don't they get to go home? And they'll say, well, they didn't get saved before the rapture. And it's like, what
a bogus
what a stupid
thing to say.
So they're going to miss the
second-rate Christians.
They're like going to miss the marriage supper of the Lamb. And
how's that track?
Second-rate, brother. In the first century, if you got martyred for the faith, we were jealous of you.
That's right. Yeah.
Origen found out there was a persecution and turned himself in.
It's like, sign me up.
He turned himself in. He's like, oh, hey, yeah, you're killing Christians. I'm a Christian. And they're like, what do you want? He's like, well, kill me like you're doing everybody else. And they're like, and they literally told him, dude, you're crazy. Go home. And he was so disappointed. He was like,
he didn't get to be martyred.
He didn't get to be. And when Polycarp was arrested,
the March of Polycarp.
You should read the Martyrdom of Polycarp, because he writes some letters to the churches, and he, according to church tradition, sat at the feet of the Apostle John. And he had friends in high places because a lot of folks had gotten saved. Yeah. And he wrote to them, and he said, please don't deliver me from martyrdom. Please please let me go and die for Jesus. Please.
Yeah.
I'm 90 years old. Don't save me. Let me go out there and die.
Yeah.
And he was such a boss.
That's one of the. It's short. You should read if you like reading.
So if you love Jesus and you're like, God's gonna rapture us out, and we're gonna miss tribulation. It's like you're gonna miss the most boss epic time of the church in the history of the world.
Yeah.
That the greatest revival ever. You want to be at home drinking wine and partying with Jesus while your brothers are down here. Listen, man, David was an adulterer.
Yeah.
And he brought what's his name? Bathsheba's husband.
Uriah.
He brings Uriah to the palace. This is a good metaphor. And he tries to get him drunk because David's knocked up his wife while he's out fighting.
Yeah.
And he gets him a little drunk, and he says, hey, Uriah, man, I know you had a lot to drink, and you're probably lonesome because you've been going out on the front for a while. So why don't you go home and sleep with your wife? And that way you could think it was his baby. And Uriah said, how could I go and take pleasure with my wife while my brothers suffer in the field? And he went out and he fell asleep on the steps of the king's palace. He would not go home. So you want to go up there in heaven and be having the big party and everything while all these folks are getting saved here and literally dying. And you're just like, well, too bad for them. Glad I missed out on that.
Yep.
It's like, come on, man. Don't miss me with that.
Yeah. It's wild. The sixth seal is about these, I don't know, I guess they kind of natural disasters. A violent earthquake occurred. The sun turned black like sackcloth made of hair. The entire moon became like blood.
Man, the moon turned to blood. That's a good one.
Blood moons. There you go. The stars of heaven fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its unripe figs when shaken by a high wind. The sky was split apart like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved from its place. And the kings of the earth, and the nobles, the generals, the rich, the powerful, and every slave and free person hid in the caves and among the rocks of the mountains. And they said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of the one seated on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Because the great day of their wrath has come, and who is able to stand?
Yeah.
Right.
When I was a kid, every time the moon turned red, I thought Jesus was coming back, and I was a goner.
Do you remember the John Hagee book, Blood Moons, Four Blood Moons?
I don't want to talk about that.
Man, golly, so John Hagee is a.
Is it Hagee? I think it's Hagee.
Hagee?
H-A-G-E-E.
I always call it Hagee.
Yeah,
okay.
you can call him.
I'm calling him whatever I want to.
He's a heretic.
He's a charlatan.
Yeah,
and who just gets people wound up about end times things, and he had everyone wound up about blood moons and stuff. He had them tracked out. I was like, this is going to be it. We're all about to go. It's going to happen anytime now. Now, one thing that comes up when the natural disasters get brought up is the assumption that they're as bad as they've ever been now. Natural disaster wise, like, oh man, we're hurricanes every year, earthquakes in Haiti, all this kind of stuff. I was listening to a I don't even know what they are. He was the what even is that science? The climatologist for MIT. Talking the other day, and he's a big wig academic guy and stuff. And he was talking about how global warming is it's totally fraudulent. It's like ridiculous.
I'm sure they love him.
Oh yeah. He's a pariah in some aspects of the academia. And he was talking about how it's like you can't. There's no proof that any natural disasters have gotten worse in the last decades or whatever.
Oh man, you want to talk about natural disasters?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was 500 AD, somewhere around in there, where they had winter for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know about it snowed in July because a volcanic eruption threw so much soot or whatever into the air that it blocked the sun.
Yeah.
And they never, like, people starved to death by the thousands because of that.
And natural disasters always are terrible. They suck. But they're not worse than they've ever been. And so there's like this assumption out there a lot of people have when they start talking about Revelations, like, well, you know how bad it is right now. Jesus is about to come back just because of how bad it is. And like, what do you mean how bad it is? Like, well, the hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff. It's like, no, what it is like you just have really good news coverage now. Like you have a really good news coverage that is always putting them in your face. You have James Spann, and they didn't have that.
Yeah, it was 536 AD.
Yeah.
The global temperature dropped 2 to 3 degrees Celsius for several years because of that.
Golly.
Because of a volcanic eruption.
Yeah.
That sounds like not much, but that is a lot.
So same thing with when it comes to the
those people thought it was the end of the world, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
They were like, it's over.
100%.
We are done.
People
Black
have
Death,
been thinking it's the end of the world for a long time.
Dude, we think COVID was bad.
Yeah, Black Death.
Black Death killed 30% of Europe, something like that. In some places more. Even the Spanish influenza of the 1900s.
Yeah.
Smallpox.
Yeah, smallpox.
Literally wiped out native tribes in North America and overseas.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Well, there's been some bad stuff.
Well, Jesus literally told us, don't worry about that stuff.
That's why I'm saying, like when you get these passages, a quarter of the earth, like, fine. That is status quo in the sense that, like, that is what happens. That's what's happening right now. That's what's been happening since Christ ascended, and it's going to happen until he returns. In the idealist view, same with these natural disasters and these. Every mountain and island was moved from its place. I think you're entering into the realm of like prophetic hyperbole with that. Like every mountain and island moved.
If it was the reason I lean the other way is because they seem to stack. It's just like, okay, well, maybe that. And then it's like, oh, well, every king. It's like, they keep stacking these things.
How many rocks are going to fall from the sky? It's like you start counting.
I think the stars that fall to the earth is a callback to that fallen angels. Actually.
So you're going to put in some callbacks. It's not, you're not going to take everything literally with that. Then.
No.
right?
Well, I think
See-
I think there's going to be more activity at the end.
So but
What I mean
you're
is
gonna
call
mix-
back in the sense that we know what these stars are because it keeps coming up.
Yeah.
And it seems like at the end, all this stuff is happening all along. But like I said, I see it like Jesus talking about birth pains. It's like one, and it gets worser and more worse.
You just think it's going to increase and get worse as time goes on.
And then at the end, there's going to be one great cataclysmic thing before Jesus comes
I think it's very
back.
possible.
Yeah.
So after the sixth seal, you have another one of these where this thing where there will be people safe.
Oh, sorry, I was in the sixth seal already. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was the sixth seal. I'm saying after the sixth seal.
Yeah.
Chapter 7, you have the sealed of Israel. There's some different stuff in this.
This
I
is
know.
wild.
Yeah, this is after this I saw 4 angels standing in the 4 corners of the earth, restraining the 4 winds of the earth, so that no wind could blow on the earth or on the sea or any tree. Still, right? Then I saw another angel rising up from the east, who had the seal of the living God. He cried out in a loud voice to the 4 angels who were allowed to harm the earth and the sea. Don't harm the earth or the sea or the trees until we seal the servants of our God on their foreheads. Right? And I heard the number of the sealed, 144,000, right? You've probably heard this number like in the culture.
We're going to get into
and
all
you
this
get
today.
12,000 from each tribe, right? I mean, what is it? Like what?
Well, first of all, do you know what kind of disaster it would be if the wind stopped blowing on the earth?
I know, right? It would. Well, that would mean that the earth
we're
has stopped
dead.
Spinning.
We're
Right?
dead.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is bad.
It's what it is. It's imagery.
What it is.
It's imagery.
What it is.
It's not talking about the wind stop blowing.
Oh, I hope not. Well, if not, we'd all die.
And that's right. And then you wouldn't get 7 more bowls and 7 more trumpets and all this kind of stuff of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over, right? And so that's why, like, I think the point isn't telling you like what's about to literally happen. Is this giving you some theologically important things that are happening? But it's more about the theological point of it, not the literal physical point of it. You have these people sealed, right? And it's Israel, Judah, Reuben, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, Simeon, Levi, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph,
Yeah.
yeah, and Benjamin, right? Instead of Ephraim and stuff, he goes Joseph.
Well,
That's interesting.
what's interesting, wasn't his other son Manasseh?
Yeah, I know it.
So it's Joseph instead of Ephraim.
I know it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
interesting that I don't know why that's like that.
Yeah. But who's left off? It's not Ephraim because that's under Joseph.
Yeah, who is left off on this? Judah?
Let's see.
It's
No,
Judah.
Judah's there.
Oh, Judah's the first. Yeah, Judah, Ruda.
Where's Dan?
1, 2, 3, 4,
It's Simeon.
5, 6, 7, no, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Who is it?
It's Simeon.
No, Simeon's in it.
Where?
Verse 7.
No, Simeon then. It's Dan. Where's Dan?
It is Dan. What happened to Dan?
Well, I'll be Dan.
You know, I've had to read through this in my Bible reading a bunch of times, but I've had to do it for like, you know, theology classes and stuff several times, and I've never seen that.
You know, you're welcome.
I've never. Did y'all talk about that when you did eschatology?
No, I just know that there's 13.
Yeah.
And so
what
when they
happened to
do
Dan?
12,
Why isn't Dan in here?
because Dan misbehaved.
Dan was bad.
Dan's a bad boy.
He's a bad
Well, see, here's the thing. It's a signal,
Uh-huh.
like the bat signal. It's telling us, well, how can you have the 12 tribes of Israel sealed when you got a whole tribe missing here? What's going on?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a clue. A clue.
A clue.
A clue.
I don't know. I don't think it really is about Israel.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I think it's about the people of God. You're protected. Like you're sealed. You are sealed. There's the marks on their head, right? You see that the mark on the forehead. Don't harm the earth or the sea or the trees until we seal the servants of our God on their foreheads. And that is what happened in the priesthood.
Yeah.
They had that, and that's how it started. The seal of God, the mark of God's on their forehead.
It is a holographic cross, and only other believers can see it. I actually like that bit of fanfic in Left Behind series.
Is that what was that in the Left Behind series?
Yeah, they were marked with a holographic kind of cross thing,
Oh
and you
my
could see
gosh.
it on the head.
I only ever saw the movies.
If,
Oh, no.
If you are a believer, you could see the cross on their forehead. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's what it is.
They will know you by the way you love one another. You don't need a holographic.
And the holographic cross in your forehead.
Yeah,
well, they
that's
had
what
to have
Jesus-
that because there's people trying to trick them, and the Antichrist was running around.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
fun.
So did you read the books? I didn't
Absolutely,
read
I read them.
them. I didn't read them.
Yeah, I read them. Yeah. I didn't watch the movies.
I watched the movies.
They made them all?
No, there's like 3 of them, 2 or 3 of them.
Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron, man.
I think he loves Jesus.
Oh, I do too.
100%
He
he's gonna make
seems like a great guy.
I think so.
Yeah.
And what's his buddy in the ministry? He's led a lot of people.
Oh,
to
Ray
the Lord.
Comfort?
Ray Comfort. Yeah.
Ray Comfort's great.
They're all in predispensational premillennial.
Yeah, for
all
sure.
in.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to go to heaven.
Yeah. I think the point of this is to say that, like it says in verse 9, after this I looked, and there was a vast multitude from every nation, tribe, people, and language, which no one could number, standing before the throne, before the Lamb. They were clothed in white robes and palm branches in their hands. And they cried out in a loud voice, salvation belongs to our God who's seated on the throne and to the Lamb. Now, look, the seals aren't done. There's still another seal, 7th seal. And you'll see this in every one of these series of judgments, whether it's bowls and trumpets, seals, in towards the middle of it. I think it's actually between the 6th and 7th on each one of them. There is a section of there's like a paragraph or there's a section that talks about those that are safe in Christ, like sealed, safe in Christ.
So why does he talk about the sealing of the 12 tribes before the number that you can never count? So the dispensational person says, well, during the tribulation, there's going to be 144,000 Jewish evangelists running loose in the world, bringing people to Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody like Justin, who's kind of an idealist, will say, I don't know.
I'm going to say this is just about, it's not about Israel. It's just like, this is the people of God. They're safe.
So Israel,
what are they singing?
Israel
singing,
is symbolic of the people of God.
Yeah. They're saying salvation belongs to our God who is seated on the throne to the Lamb. And all the angels are seeing that. And they're saying blessing, glory, and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and strength to be to our God forever and ever. Amen.
I'm a little bit of an idealist on this.
And it says, I like this part, when one of the elders asked me, who are these people in white robes and where did they come from? I said to him, sir, you know. And he told me, these are the ones coming out of the great tribulation.
Yeah.
They washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. It's the people now. Like these are just
It's the great tribulation.
Right now.
Maybe.
You're in the great tribulation.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that the 12 tribes of Israel is just God emphasizing, again, covenants are present in this in symbolic ways, right? We've talked about the rainbow. We talked about the lightning from the covenant given at Mount Sinai. And it is the revelatory way to say that God is going to continue to save people from Israel. And that he's going to bring in the complete number.
You think it is Israel?
Yes,
Okay.
I think
I think it's just people.
Yeah. Well, I think the people come next, but I don't think it's like actually 144,000. I think it's saying God, like in Romans, there's that weird thing that non-dispensational people have to deal with, where Paul says, "And thus all Israel shall be saved." Right. And so God is continuing to be faithful to Israel, just like he is Zimbabwe and all the other tribes. But he's
not giving up on
No,
on them,
it is a
Yeah.
symbol of his covenant keeping. His covenant keeping keeps popping up in this. And so he's going to bring in all the folks from Israel. Even Dan, even though they're not named here, there will be Danites in there. And so it's symbolic of God is bringing in Israel, God is bringing in the Gentiles. And so I see this as kind of the same picture.
That's more the futurist than,
well, it can also be present because he's saving Jews throughout the world and people.
But, you don't mean that there's going to be like a future
great revival
thing? You don't mean that?
I don't think that's what it means here.
I got you.
So, you can be if you can be a partial preterist, you can be a partial idealist. And so I feel like
tough
sometimes
stuff here, man.
sometimes I think it zooms out and zooms in. It's kind of so there might be at the end. I even heard R.C. Sproul say this one time. who is probably as amiable as a guy could
Oh
be.
yeah, he's on me for sure.
He said, at the end of time, there may be a great revival. And he said that from Romans, amongst the Jewish people.
Yeah.
And that is maybe happening now, actually. There's a lot of people coming to
I think
Jesus
it's possible,
everywhere.
but I think the big problem with this passage being about that is that it's talking about tribes. And none of these people are part of those tribes.
They don't.
If you are Jewish, you say you're Jewish, that means you're from Judah only.
Well, I would say they may not know, but God does.
And that's fine. That's fine. But like, you shouldn't be.
There might be some
from
Zebulun.
seeing this.
If you was from a tribe, which one you won't be from?
But do you see what I mean? If you're looking at this and you're saying, "Oh, this is like the Jews are going to be saved." No, there's only 12,000 Jews on this. That's just like 1/12 of the scene here.
Well, I would say Israel. Jews a little.
But that's why we call them Jewish. It's because they're from Judah.
Yeah, but they were calling them Jewish before they were just Judah, weren't they?
No.
What?
Absolutely not. Yeah, Jewish is...
well, there was some Benjamites in there, too. They didn't get captive.
They just got
absorbed.
Completely absorbed. Yeah. Because Judah was the main one. The southern kingdom is Judah. And they're basically the only ones left. So that's where Judah comes from. So I just, I wouldn't look to the nation Israel and expect like a mass revival there. And it's like, oh, that's just one tribe, man, with the remnants of one tribe.
You might be
2,000 years.
Can you go online and take a quiz?
like
what tribe of Israel might you be? You are clearly Dan. You weren't mentioned in the Revelation. It's like, dang it,
funny,
Bobby.
man.
Well, each one had their name meant something though.
Yeah.
In the prophecy with Jacob.
Yeah.
Like Dan means judge, and there's others. I can't remember what they all meant.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Reuben means steal your dad's concubine.
Chapter 7 is this kind of break in the seals where it's talking about that there are people saved in the midst of tribulation. And that tracks. It tracks. Like even though things are bad in the earth, and they have been since, even though the Black Death plague was here, and you have the Holocaust, you have the world wars, you have the genocides, you have the mass persecutions that have taken place in various places in various times. The Lord is still saving people.
There's a beautiful thing. Maybe we could wrap this up here in verse 15. And when he's talking about these folks, he says, "For this reason they are before the throne of God, and they serve him day and night in his temple. And he who sits on the throne will spread his tabernacle over them. They will no longer hunger nor thirst any more, nor will the sun beat down on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb in the center of the throne will be their shepherd, and he will guide them to springs of the water of life, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes."
Yeah. Yeah. Wipe away their tears.
Yeah, he will do it.
So this is another reason why I think that idealist view is appropriate, because the idealist view says that the seals, bowls, and trumpets are all taking place kind of cyclical simultaneously between the ascension and the resurrection. But all the views say that Revelation 21 is future, except for full preterism, right? They all say Revelation 21 is future. And that's one of the hallmarks of chapter 21, is that there's this washing away of their tears, right? Or wiped away their tears. And there's this, final salvation language going on. That's here. And so the way in the idealist view, the way that these, the seals, bowls, and judgments work is that they're all kind of building to the resurrection, the return of Christ and the resurrection, and the consummation of the kingdom, right? And so in this passage, you have the wiping away of tears from their eyes. That is Revelation 21. It's the same thing, same moment.
So it's in the future. So you're a futurist.
They're pointing to, like, all of this bad judgment stuff is the stuff that's building up to the consummation of the kingdom, return of Christ.
In the
Safe in
future.
Christ. Well, that is certainly.
Yeah.
Like, of course that is.
So you're a partial idealist.
No, that's just the idealist view.
You're
That's how they look at this.
Yeah, they want to they want to have their cake and eat it too.
Well, the idealist is not going to say nothing's in the future.
Yeah.
They're going to say the judgment is now. The tribulation is now.
The tribulation is now. Well, that makes me a partial idealist. Like I said, the tribulation is now, but it might get more worser as we get towards the end.
And they're fine saying that too.
It might be. It might not be.
The seventh seal, the last seal, it's the beginning of chapter 8. I love how whoever broke these chapters and stuff up. This one annoys me. It's like, why did you start the seventh seal in chapter 8?
Yeah.
You could have split this actually.
Yeah, just take one chapter away. Just make it 13 more verses, man. Come on.
When he opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour.
Let's take 2 seconds and tell them what we're talking about. Chapter and verses are not included in the book.
Oh, yeah, the numbers.
The numbers were added later for reference points.
A long time later.
And so somebody decided to break chapter 7 and 8, when really this should probably just be one long chapter 7.
Yeah. Here's a funny story about that. I had at the church I was at previously, for worship, I would under the lyrics, every lyric had a passage under it. And there was reference for what was up there. We're kind of dealing with this change in church culture, and like we're doing some new stuff. In getting rid of not just like hymn. No, we weren't getting rid of hymns. We were trying to push out like bad hymns.
Yeah.
And so the emphasis was like, well, we're gonna there's scripture behind all of this. Like everything we're singing is scripture. And
y'all got rid of the good old gospel ship.
I've never even heard that. That's funny.
That's like Southern gospel stuff.
Someone asked me. One of the references underneath it was like half of a verse. And it was like half of a Bible verse, but I had quoted the important part for that passage or something, and they were kind of upset with me by not putting in the full verse. I was like, what do you mean the full verse? I was like, those are two different sentences. Why do I have to include the whole verse 8? All right, those are two different sentences.
We can say 8a.
Because he had never really thought about this idea that like whoever put in the number there, it was arbitrary. It's like just their own. Like,
I mean, they tried.
It wasn't like it was like not thoughtful or anything. But it's like you can quote just a sentence too.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's why sometimes when Matthew quotes stuff, he's like, and somewhere it says over in the prophets, because he didn't have Isaiah 11:5.
Yeah.
There was no. There was no chapter verse.
That's right.
They just had to memorize stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So anyway, this is crazy.
So chapter 8, when he opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. Then I saw the 7 angels who stand in the presence of God. 7 trumpets were given to them. Another angel with a golden incense burner came and stood at the altar. He was given a large amount of incense to offer with the prayers of all the saints on the golden altar in front of the throne. The smoke of the incense with the prayers of the saints went up in the presence of God from the angel's hand. The angel took the incense burner, filled it with fire from the altar, and hurled it to the earth. There were peals of thunder, rumblings, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake.
Such a boss scene. I picture it like a hammer throw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's
he
right.
fills it up.
It's like a finality moment.
And what is he bombarding the earth with? What is this missile?
It's the prayers.
It's prayers.
Yeah.
It's going to blow up the world.
It's the prayers of "Come, Lord Jesus, come."
Yes.
That's what it is. And that's why I think that this is the return of Christ.
How long, O Lord?
How long, O Lord? And the prayer that you're told to pray at the end of the book, "Come, Lord Jesus, come."
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Even so.
Even so, yep. And so this is the return of Christ. That's how I think it is. This isn't. Look, that I've pushed the speculation button. Okay, I have. I'm fine with it. I think that is symbolizing the return of Jesus, coming to earth, and with the prayers of the saints, right?
Well, when Jesus come, he killing everybody.
There is a judgment.
Yeah,
for sure. That is what this is. It's like there's those who are apart from Christ are given death, the second death. Those who are in Christ are given eternal life.
So in the dispensational views, there are different timings for rapture. Most are probably pre-tribulation raptures.
Yeah,
some people hold to
ones.
positions like called pre-wrath or mid-trib or something, and they'll say, okay,
does pre-wrath count as mid-trib?
No.
You have to
it
say
doesn't
pre-wrath
necessarily-
is
No, mid-trib's its own thing.
Yeah.
Because he
What's
breaks the
pre-wrath?
covenant. Pre-wrath is that God's judgment, when up to a certain point, it's Antichrist doing horrible things.
Oh,
At
God,
some
where
point,
do you get that?
At
Oh
some
my
point,
goodness!
At some point, it's swapped.
We have literally not said Antichrist once in this reading. Where is the Antichrist?
Daniel. It's in Daniel.
I know, but it ain't here.
Yeah, but it's in Daniel, and so they're
well, it's not
marrying
in Daniel.
these up.
The Antichrist is not in Daniel.
Well, they say it is because he's the one that makes
Antichrist
the
is
covenant.
only in the epistles of John.
Well, they think it's the same guy. You know, they can say that because it's like
They
the man
think
of
it is.
lawlessness is Antichrist. Is this?
You get that in Paul.
So anyway, they're not here. I'm trying to defend these guys that aren't here. If you're pre-wrath, just run Justin off the road. So
my point actually about the pre-wrath is like when does the pre-wrath is a pre-trib rapture?
Well, no, they would say what the pre-wrath people say is that up to a certain point, the persecutions are coming from Antichrist.
It says in chapter 6, 17, because the great day of their wrath has come. This is wrath.
Yeah.
The seals are wrath. That's why, cause I know what you're getting at. Because I went there. I went to the seminary and stuff. And there's like people like, well, some of it is wrath and some of it isn't wrath. There's a point where it becomes wrath.
Well, it's God's wrath.
It's all God's wrath.
They say
man.
some of it's God's wrath, some of it's Antichrist wrath.
Yeah.
And so when it makes that transition, when he throws this censure down, then the church is getting out of there. But I don't have to defend these people. I'm just trying to
You
be
don't
nice.
have to. Yeah, I just think it's silly.
Brethren,
Yeah.
sisterin.
You can believe it. You can believe it. It's fine. I think it gets silly with how the gymnastics you have to do around the text.
The specific, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the certainty
Or
of when stuff
which
switches.
things I want to be specific about, and
Yeah.
which things I don't.
Well, that's really it, isn't it? Here's the thing, okay? People say, well, I take Revelation literally. And it's like, no, you can't.
No, you don't.
There are spots where, you're hitting your spots where you think, oh, this is the literal part, but now we transition very rapidly back to symbolic.
Yeah.
It's like, well, man,
we went real fast to that.
Real
didn't we?
fast.
Yeah. So after that, you get to the trumpets. We'll do trumpets in bowls next week.
Why are they so quiet for 30 minutes?
Yeah, the 30 minutes, the half an hour. I don't know. Silence in heaven, half an hour. I think it's. I think it is the. It's a dramatic beginning to the return of Christ. Like I think it's a drama point. Silence in the midst of all the judgment, amidst all the carnage that's taken place on earth, and they're not praying.
There's some weird stuff about to happen.
They're not singing holy, holy, holy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's silent.
Something big's about to happen.
They say it's day and night. They're singing this, and then they stop for half an hour.
Everything
stops. So yeah, I think it's like this drama, like what is happening, kind of thing.
Or it's the wind up.
I've pushed the speculation button.
They're watching that angel swinging that censer around.
Yeah,
man, it's coming,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be some weird things out there, like locusts, like horses prepared for battle, and their heads appear to be crowns like gold, and their faces were the faces of men.
an hour. We've been going an hour and a half.
I know.
Dude, should we stop?
Yeah, we should.
I feel like we could do the trumpets.
No, man.
Yes.
We'd be here another 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Next week we'll do trumpets, and then we'll do 12 with the dragon and everything.
Oh, and a woman.
That is I said a minute ago that the section with the 144,000 sits there for the seals. This is the section that sits here for the trumpets, where it talks about the preservation of God's people.
And that's sort of like what I was saying.
And the
earlier.
finality moment, too.
Feels like sometimes Revelation gets up close. It starts from far back and then pulls in close and it zooms back. Like on the scope of history.
The idealist people say it's cyclical.
Yeah.
It's like these cycles. But it's not necessarily talking about like
different times.
It's talking about like that's just how the literature works. Like it's
So,
going. Foop,
yeah.
foop,
So like
foop.
what they would say is what you're getting here is this image of the sealed of Israel, God preserving his people. Then you get the woman who is presumptively maybe symbolizing the church and her people. Because when you get to the woman,
saved from captivity, saved from the dragon,
you're going to have people say, well, this is Mary having Jesus. Yeah. And then other people say, no, this is the church birthing the church, Mother Church, taking care of the children and the devil trying to eat them. And the answer is, tune in next week to
nice.
the Big Deal Podcast.
I love that cliffhanger, man. I hope this is helpful to you guys if you're curious about end times. If you've never read the book of Revelation before, this might be a good guide for you. It might be a terrible guide for you.
Well, we'll at least give you some references.
Yeah, we will, and tell you some good books to read. You should go read the Polycarp, the Martyrdom of Polycarp.
It has almost nothing to do with Revelation.
Yeah, but it's
man,
good
you
reading.
should read. If you have never read the Martyrdom of Polycarp, the Didache, which looks like Didache. It's Didache. Yeah, you should read the Didache because it's called the teaching. Mm-hmm. It's as old as the New Testament.
You should read the old stuff.
You should read Polycarp. You should read the letters of Clement.
Yeah. Hey, and if you're on Goodreads, you can count that little bitty book as one of your books for Goodreads.
I don't even know what that means, but that would be impressive.
You don't do Goodreads? How do you know?
No idea.
Yeah, okay.
No.
We'll talk about it later.
I don't know how to read.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Big Deal Podcast. We're going to be back at it next week doing some more Revelation. We'll see you then.
See ya.